Anthony Hartwig here with another edition of the Running Point Coaches Corner. We're not on the air, but we're still joined by Phil Simone, the head coach of the Canfield girls soccer team. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You are more than welcome. We are happy to finally work this out. Your girls team has been phenomenal this year, AAC champions. Talk about what it means before we talk about the whole season as a whole. Just that night to win the AAC and what that meant for your program and for you.
Well, we have officially not won it yet. With a win on Monday, we are guaranteed. We're guaranteed at least a tie for it
Right.
right now. Um, but if we can pull that off, it'll be 10 in a row for us. And the girls have worked extremely hard, and just so proud of them.
So just to clarify for everyone, you have clinched at least a share of the AAC, but as we all know, sharing is not in competitors' DNA, and you want to win it outright.
Correct.
All right, so talk a little bit about this team. I mean, you guys are having such a phenomenal season. The standard, as you just said, has been set by this program and the history that it has. What it is about this group specifically this year, though, that has been so successful?
Every year they come in with a target on their back, and they know they've got some pressure on them, um, just because they've been successful. And this group has really not talked about it. They've just kind of gone out, um, done what they need to do, take care of business, and just keep playing. They work hard every practice. And the special thing about it is it's not a senior led team as far as numbers, not a senior heavy team, I should say. Um, it's kind of spread around. We've got a mixture of all grades, which makes it special. So just again, just proud of them for everything that they do.
Not a senior heavy team, but talk about some of the leaders of this group and the leaders that have stepped up to really lead them, not just on the field, but maybe off the field as well.
Some of the seniors, especially, we've got seven seniors, and leading that group is Ali Malinky, Sabrina Goodrich. They've really stepped up on the field this year. Sabrina stepped up into a different role from where she's typically played this season. She's played more in the midfield. We've moved her up front. So on and off the field, she's been phenomenal. Um, Lauren Yeoman plugs away. She finds a way to put goals in the back of the net for us. And, a couple surprise leaders. Caden Svetkov always works extremely hard um, on the defensive side. And a lot of the times those defenders don't get all the credit because all the goal scorers are getting all the credit. And then we finish off with our goalkeeper in Bayan Jadala, who has only given up 5 goals all season. And then kind of what I call our social director, Lena Atway, just playing solid all year. She's not a flashy player, but she's just provided us with what she's capable of in her role, and really, really led the way for us in that. And then we have our last senior is Ellie Bashara, and Ellie works hard every practice, every game, when she gets the opportunity to get on the field for us. So it's really a great group of senior girls all around. I've coached girls for 14 years, and there's always some drama coaching girls, but this year has been phenomenal with them. They've just wanted to take care of business.
Let's talk a little bit more about Sabrina because, like you said, in a new role this year, a little bit of a different position, but she has been on everyone's radar. You know, you look at any soccer expert in the area, there she's on the top of their watch list and things like that. Talk about what it's been like to coach someone like that and to see just the versatility factor kind of step in this year and her showing that she can be not just what she was last year, but be a new member, not a new member, but uh, a new tool to this team this year.
Yeah, we lost our target player to graduation last year, and we know we were looking for a new target. And Sabrina worked extremely hard off season on her fitness levels. And we just thought with her ability to hold the ball and her ability to finish, that we thought we were preseason going to give her a look at that position. And she showed us preseason that she solidified in locking that position. Um, but yeah, her versatility is phenomenal because we can play her in target and hope for a goal, for her to get a goal, or hold the ball up for players to run off of her and potentially get a goal off of her holding it. Um, but then in a tight game, if we're up, we can always bump her back to secure the defense a little bit in the midfield and sure up a victory.
And one of the things that you notice if you're a soccer fan in the area is the growth of the sport as far as how many elite programs we're seeing pop up, especially on the girls' side. As a coach, as your perspective, what does it mean to you, just as not even just as a coach, as a soccer fan, to kind of look around and see all these different programs in the area kind of start to really solidify themselves and the sport start to grow as much as it has?
Um, I mean, it's awesome that the sport's growing. We're in the Youngstown area. We're always a little bit behind the Cleveland area as far as soccer. So to see it develop, because we always try and get a schedule that allows us to play some of the out of area teams, so we can see where the measuring stick is, and to see some of the local teams starting to catch up and improve, not with just a couple players, but their overall teams, just shows how much further advanced the area is these days in girls soccer.
Before a season start, every coach has kind of a idea of how the season will go, or a picture where they think this is what my team will look like this year. Have there been any surprises or some things that have gone a little bit differently than you expected them to this year?
No, I mean, we figured, we lost some solid seniors last year, but looking over the summer and what we had coming back and some of the areas that we had to fill, we thought we would be a little bit more agile this year, a lot more versatile. We had some area where some of the younger girls have grown a little bit, and we can float some people around. So we thought we could be a lot stronger in the midfield this year, and it really showed that we are stronger in the midfield. Um, that's one of our strengths. But I mean, we kind of knew going in that we had a solid team, and as every team hopes, you just hope to stay healthy and get a little bit of luck in your journey. And so far, we've been fortunate.
Coach, one of the things about your program is it is such an established program of excellence, and that has to come from developing kind of the girls before they get to high school. Talk about what some of the things that Canfield Soccer does. So I know there's not a lot of junior high official soccer as far as school affiliated teams in the area. So what are some things that you guys do to make sure when they come in as freshmen, they're as developed as possible when they get to you?
One of the things is just the culture that we've built. It's not so much us as the high school coaches getting down and working with all the younger groups. We do try and work with maybe one group out of the younger ones if we can, uh, to try and get them up to par. But one of the things that we've been fortunate with is we've had some solid parents in the lower levels that have maybe not been extremely soccer knowledgeable, but they've been very driven in keeping the girls together. If they weren't soccer knowledgeable in their training abilities, they found people to help them. But just, I mean, the big thing is just the culture that we've developed, and they know the expectations we have. So, I speak with some of the youth coaches pretty frequently, keeping tabs on them. And again, we just try and keep them in the right direction. So we're always asking them questions of what they're doing. They're asking us what we're kind of doing, and we're just making sure they're getting the right program in place for them.
Talk to me a little bit about the your personal soccer journey and what kind of brought you to this place that you're at now. How do you get involved in coaching the sport? What is it about soccer that has made you love it so much? And what are some of the things that kind of you look back on and think that were turning points in your career?
Um, so I started off at a very young age. My parents are both from Italy. They moved over pregnant with me when they came to this country, and my dad was always a soccer lover. So back in the 70s, I'm going to start dating myself here. Back in the 70s, him and a bunch of other foreigners got together and played quite a bit, and they had a pretty good league, men's league around with all the communities. And I followed them all around and hung around with all of them, and so I just kind of at an early age was always around soccer. So my dad's a big driving point behind my passion for it. And then I started playing myself, and at the high school level, I played at the high school level. Went to McDonald High School, which no longer has a team, but we had a lot of parent coaches, and I really didn't get an opportunity to really thrive in the game and get the knowledge that was needed. And then I had a club coach who's passed, and he was a big part of youth soccer in those days, George DeChef. And he got me rolling, and it got me involved in club at a late age. And then he brought me on as a staff coach, and I really started to get into the coaching side of it. Um, and I look back sometimes as myself as a young coach in my 20s and think, man, what was I doing back then? Well, I was a horrible coach back then, looking back at things. But just to, I tell a lot of the young coaches now, back in the early days, I really studied the X's and O's of the game, really looked at what those super drills, what was the heavy drill to do, what was the cool drill to do. Whereas you become an older coach, you start looking at the tactics of the game and the psychological side of the game and how we develop young people um, instead of just winning games. So, yes, we've built a winning tradition, um, and sports are driven by wins and losses. But on the Canfield girls side, we also try and develop outstanding young ladies, and that's part of what we're here for now. And I'm in my between JV and varsity boys and girls. I'm actually in my 28th year here at Canfield, and just blessed to be part of a great program and a great school system.
And to put in 28 years, you really got to love what you do. I mean, there's no way to get around doing it for that long without having a passion for the coaching aspect. What's your favorite thing about coaching, especially coaching high school age students?
Well, they keep you on your toes. They keep you youthful. Um, I can't put a finger on it. I just, I love going to practice. I love being around the kids. Obviously I love the soccer. I've got a passion for it. I'm still having fun doing it. Um, and as long as I keep having fun doing it and enjoying myself, we'll keep going. But, I can't pinpoint one thing. I guess it's just the whole atmosphere of it, um, that I really enjoy.
Coach, before we let you go, we know that programs and teams are not built by one person, and we know that although you are the head coach and you get the interviews and the light shined on you a little bit, there are plenty of people behind the curtains and the assistants and the other coaches that help with this program. Give a shout out to some of the people that have made this program what it is today, and the assistants that you work with.
Yeah, currently my JV coach and my assistant varsity coach is John Madeline, and John's going on his fourth year with us. And and I always try and look at assistant coaches that are going to mesh well with the kids. And I found a good one in John. He relates to the kids well. He's a student of the game as well, and he enjoys being around them too. So That's my current situation with assistants. And then I have Jackie Podolsky with me. She's in her third year with us. Um, she works primarily with our goalkeepers, but she also assists the entire team. And Jackie is an alumnus. She was, I believe, a sophomore when I started coaching the varsity team. So she played for me for 3 years. So it's kind of nice to have some of that alumnus feeling coming back and being a part of staff because they've been there. They kind of know what we're doing, and they can relate to the kids a little bit more. And then over the years, I've had Alicia Denmead has really put a stamp on the program. She was with us for 5. Um, and then a big one that we had was Mike Thomas was with us for several years. We lost him, unfortunately. He had passed away. But I've had some great assistant coaches with us over the years.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We love talking to you. We love catching up to you. We love covering the Canfield girls soccer program. They always give us some great stories to put up on the site. Good luck the rest of the way, and we look forward to possibly talking to you again real soon.
All right. Thank you again for having us.